Welcome, friends. So great to be here with you at 12:12 for Awareness Moments with Kyra. I am always a privilege and honor to share this time together, and it is really a powerful moment of time that we're sharing continually. And we are being invited to come into a deeper awareness and to free ourselves in this journey. So great to have some of you join me and wave or let me know you're here. I love your comments. Great to see you, Jackie and Frida and Charlotte and the others that are joining in. And so delighted to experience the depth of what is happening in this moment. Welcome, Donna and Artis. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever, Artis. Good to see you on here. And in this time, we are being invited to let go of our need for control or our illusion that we have control. I think it's an illusory kind of thing, isn't it? And this intimate time with ourselves and the universe and questioning life and questioning its purpose. We do that all the time. The mind loves to create all these questions and loves to compare and analyze and make sense of everything and then establish plans and control. It's an interesting dynamic we're in right now because we're having to let go of that control. We're getting the opportunity to lean into the greater mystery of the infinite, the greater mystery of the divine, whether you call it universal consciousness or oneness or awareness or our God self or our higher self. There is something that is happening here that we all know is significant. We all recognize everything as we've known it cannot be relied on in the same way. And the question is, what do we do in the midst of that? What kind of experience do we have? Do we lean into the mystery and open to its unfolding, unfurling possibilities? Or do we fight against what is occurring in this moment? Try to hold on to a semblance of control, to find the places. I love that. I know in times in my life when everything seemed like it went upside down in my world. Hi, Tom. See Tom on there too. Is that when my life went upside down, I would try to find something I can control. You know, when I went through a really challenging time with the divorce and different things, boy, my body was in the best shape it was ever in because the one thing I felt I had control over, I was working out my body constantly because we look for some place I can hold on to a sense of control. But what if? What if we play the what if game? It's one of my favorite things to do. The what if game, but not from the what if of all the catastrophe that could happen. That we get a lot of from the world around us that wants to tell us, I often find that if you look to news nowadays, sometimes they're reporting what's actually happening, but you get such conflicted stories, perspectives and perceptions about how their perceptions of reality of what they're experiencing is going on versus really reporting. It's projecting what awful thing might happen next based upon this, this, and this. And there's constantly, oh my, here's the next possible tragedy, and are we prepared for that? And it's creating constant fear. I love in Paul Selig's work, he talks about the purpose of fear is to create more fear. That it only purpose is to perpetuate itself. So when we begin to open to the possibility of a different kind of what if, a what if that relies on the great mystery, on this infinite consciousness, this universal awareness to bring forth and see itself and express itself in the most creative moments. And we are a part of that. We do actually get to decide what do we choose to see or how do we experience it in a given moment. Hi, Allison and Elaine and Amber and Ray. So glad to have you join us. So we're in a journey right now that we are really opening to all the different mysteries of the universe, of this universal consciousness, and what if its nature is benevolence? I want to invite you, why don't you play a what if game that allows you to consider the benevolence of the universe working on our behalf every moment. Every moment it is bringing forth something to help realign us, like an airplane constantly is realigning to take us to an ultimate destination. See, the nature of the universe as benevolence is always bringing forth the highest good for us. Now, we at the human level have a hard time with this because we want to perceive it as, wait, you're doing to me something I don't want to have done. I'm not in control. It's not like I expected it to be. And our ability to flow in that benevolence of the universe is stuck in our resistance to our definition of how we believe it should be. And instead of allowing and opening to the possibilities of what if the universe is working on our behalf? What if there is a shifting going on? And I know those of you that are on here with me are already considering these possibilities. You've been living into the truth at a higher level for a long, long time. You have been opening to what else is happening and how do I participate with the universe in bringing forth the highest expression. And so when we lean into the mystery and then open to the what if game, well, what if it is the highest benevolence? Well, then what could this be for? Now, the challenge for us is we want to figure it out. We want all the answers. We want it figured out. We want to be able to know, in advance what's happening. And yet at the same time, that is not really why we're here. We're here to be able to be a creative presence in the now moment. We've been taught this for years by so many spiritual teachers and masters of living in the now. And in the now, the only thing we can do is open to the what if, open to the mystery, and allow this moment to be what this moment is, to inform us and re-inform us again and again and again, to recognize I can't ever have all the data or all the information of what is occurring, because I'm living in a divine universe that is so much greater than what I know and understand. There's a level of knowing, and the more I get out of the way with the definitions and the decisions that it needs to be a certain way, the more I allow that universal consciousness to inform me. I become curious. That's a beautiful thing to become. Curious and open to the creative flow. Open to aligning myself in that universal flow. And as I do that and play that what if with the greatest possible what ifs that I can imagine, I begin to stretch my imagination. And I begin to open to an even greater and greater possibility. What if this really is a reset moment for the world? To realign ourselves with our true nature. I know other than this today, I'm really staying off of social media and off of Zooms and off of electronics. I realize that the bombardment of all that energy just has effects on us. And to say, what is it to allow myself to let go of that and allow myself to be present with Mother Earth, to be present with the infinite flow of consciousness and just be at one with myself and all of creation. So if I start playing the what if and expanding my imagination without all the bombardment of the news and the this and that that's defining and telling us how to think and feel and believe, then all of a sudden this expansive awareness that is alive within me. I want to say hi to Catherine and Tom and Joyce and Ginger. Welcome. Glad you're with us. And in this journey of allowing this expansive nature of myself to inform me, rather than everything outside of me to inform me, I become aware of a more subtle realm of consciousness. I become more aware of something that is moving and shifting, and it may be that it's taking away layers of where I have been in resistance to being with myself. I've been so busy, I haven't even known who I am anymore. You know, many of us are finding to stop and slow down and to look within. That's where the jewel of insight, the jewel of divine consciousness lives. It's within us. And when we lean into that and allow it, and then know that it's still always going to be a mystery. We're not getting a 5-year plan here. We're getting to live into the moment. And what is it to free ourselves to be in the moment? Most of us have not been in the moment. We have been in our heads constantly in our world. And this is a time of flowering the heart, of opening. I love spring because all the flowers are blooming and it's a wonderful, beautiful time of year. And we can think about the flowering and blossoming of our own heart, of our own being, to open. And I love that the corona represents the crown, and it's opening our crown consciousness, our connection to our divine awareness, to a greater mystery that is actually fulfilling exactly what's necessary to take us into a greater community of love and a greater world that is filled with light. How many people are being called to really shine their light, to lift up and inspire and find the internal place where they feel the light of truth, where they live into being a presence for others, of supporting those who are needing us at this time. There are those that can't get there right now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It means that those of us that have been on the front lines doing this internal work to shine our light brightly, to be a presence for the world, are called to shine even more brilliantly, to open to the mystery and allow it, and allow ourselves to just flow with this divine light and love and awareness in this world. So what I know is that I don't know. Isn't it the greatest thing to know I really don't know? I can never know all the mysteries of the universe. But I can watch for the signals of how do I choose to show up. What benevolence is reaching into me to show the way, to help me show up in a higher way, to be kinder, to be more loving, to be a presence for others, to shine the truth of the light within me in the places where I have still carried my own doubts and fears and darkness. And I want to shine the light on those places so that they can be embraced in love and released from their fear, so that I can be fully present here and now and allow the mystery to unfold. We don't go to the flower and open the bud before it's time. We understand the nature of the seed, the planting of the seed, and the growth in the dark, and the bringing forth, breaking through, and then it's taking its perfect time. It's already encoded and seated inside of each and every one of us. It's encoded into this experience that the mystery of life, we can go together and make a baby at one level, but we can't control how to bring that baby forth, how to actually bring that life into that baby. We're not in charge of that. We're not in charge of this baby either. We're in the mystery. But what if it's the most magnificent birth? You know, one of my heroes in life was Barbara Marx Hubbard, who no longer is on this plane of existence, but I'm sure she's working with us from where she is. She was a magnificent light in this world. And she talked about this is such a co-creative, I think that was one of the terms that she generated. You know, this was a co-creative time, and that this was a birthing of a new evolutionary turn in our consciousness to really come into awareness and be those co-creators. But we first have to let go of the places we're in resistance to being in the now. So I want to invite you, play the what if game. Hi Gandhari and Candace and Deborah, thanks for joining in. And as you open yourself, your light, your awareness, open to the possibilities that the benevolence of the universe is blossoming you, is opening your heart, is freeing your whole being to rise consciousness to a higher level within you. to truly awaken your crown so that you are connected to the infinite side of yourself. And it takes a quietness to do that. It takes a moment of pulling back from what we've known. And yes, unfortunately, in our world, we've often done this through crisis because we haven't stopped and listened without something to shake us loose. So we're being shaken loose, but we always have the opportunity to choose. To choose, how do we perceive? What information is happening within? What light is shining forth from inside of us and blessing us and blessing the world and bringing forth a greater awareness into all of creation. We are co-creating a new world, but we do that by acknowledging that the benevolence of the universe is in charge of every moment of life. And we surrender, we allow that life itself to express through us. What is wanting to express through you today? Play the what if game. Let the benevolence speak. Let it rise through you. Let it settle down the unsettled places in your soul so that you feel whole and aligned and alive right where you are. And when you do that and allow, then amazing information will come in and inform your consciousness and move you forward naturally. No forcing, no need to understand, just allowing. I am so honored to be with you and to share this time of an ever-flowing universal consciousness blossoming the hearts of all of us. Thank you for being on the front lines. Thank you for sharing your light and your awareness and willingness in this world. I honor you. I will see you again on Monday. And in the meantime, have a fabulous, fabulous time of allowing that inner being to just relax. God bless you, friends.